Okay. Hey, you guys. So I was asked about like a week and a half ago, maybe more, by a friend when I know when to plant stuff.
Mom.
And it all kind of comes down to, so basically I'm just going to show you guys how I organize my seeds so that I know when to plant stuff. Now my seed organization has changed a lot throughout the years, from virtually nothing to just being sorted by varieties. Honey, no, we don't want the plastic off. No, we're gonna leave it on. It's fine. It keeps it from getting wet. Keeps it from getting wet if anything happens.
Get this off.
You're gonna get this off.
In the soul.
The what?
Get in the soul.
It's
My blanket.
okay. Are you gonna go sit?
Mine blanket.
Mine blanket. Good job. Okay, so mostly you're gonna base it off of your location, because every location, we all have a zone, and that just has to do with our average lows, like our lowest possible temperature in our area. So like me, I am zone 5. Our lowest temperature is like negative 20 or negative, no, I think it's like negative 30. Like our lowest possible average is negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's different for every zone. And there are seed calculators on the internet that you can find from like Johnny Seeds. I think Mother Earth News Fair has something, and it will tell you down to the date when exactly you should plant that based on your growing zone. So you can type in USDA zone map on Google, and then you can type in your zip code and it will tell you your zone and your last predicted frost dates. So basically what I do is I found my predicted last frost date. Actually, I found 2 dates. One is the predicted one, which is the 7th of May. The other one is the guaranteed last frost date, and that one is May 24th. So I'm going to, just for the sake of optimism, shoot for the May 7th date, especially because I have things like frost cloth and greenhouse plastic that I can use to extend my season. So if I plant some things out on May 7th or a little bit after and I feel like it's gonna freeze, then I can throw some stuff over it. So I just have a planner, and I count it back in my planner. So you can see here May 7. This is the April, but you can see here where it starts. May 7 is the predicted last frost date for my zone. So then I just count back every day from there, and I write a number, and these are inside like the day-to-day portions of my planner also. Like as you can see on this day, here's 7 weeks to the final frost. So I just mark it out like that so that I can keep track of it. And then because of the fact that I like to plant on Sundays, I like to call Sunday Seed Sunday, just like Justin Rhodes on here on YouTube. And so I try to plant on Sundays just because it's a good day for us, because Fridays, it falls on a Friday, and Fridays are generally like our cleaning days, getting prepped for the weekend, all sorts of other things. Generally, I am trying to plant once a week, and it's just cool to dedicate one day like Justin Rhodes does to Seed Sunday, so that you know that you're planting at least one day a week, getting your stuff in. So I am basing my planting days off of Sundays. So those are days that I want to be planting seeds, whether it's direct sowing out into the raised beds or whether that's starting stuff inside. Like I said, Friday is just not like generally a day that we're going to be wanting to be planting. Maybe we'll plant on Wednesdays, maybe we'll plant on Mondays, I don't know. But I specifically want to make sure that I'm planting something at least once a week. So I saw a gal on Instagram. So my friend Stacy, the one who asked me about when I plant stuff, Mama Stacy, this is for you. You should go follow this gal, Brienne Birch. She's a really awesome garden inspiration, but she organizes her seeds like this. She has this, I saw this originally somewhere else a couple years ago. I've had this for like 2 or 3 years now. 2 years. I think 2 years. And it's like a photo album. It's a photo organizer, and it works really well for seed packets. Okay, so here we are. This is like attempt like 4 or something at this point, because I keep getting interrupted. But then Spencer came home and then he gave me a snack. And so anyways, so that gal I follow on Instagram, Brianne Birch, she organizes her seed box by planting date. And so for me, like I said, I'm going to try to be planting every Sunday. I did it like this. So each one of my boxes has a date on it. So this is March 28th, 6 weeks from frost. So they're all like that. And so it just gives me a good idea of when I want to try to be planting stuff. I'm not going to be super hard on myself if I don't get stuff planted exactly right. But when you look at the seed packets, the back of the seed packets will generally tell you what the seeds want and when to start. So they'll say on the back of it, plant indoors, start indoors 4 to 5 weeks from frost. So you kind of know like when to do it. Some things want to be directly sown. So I have boxes that say direct sow May, because some things don't like to be transplanted. Their roots just don't, they just don't like that. So, there are some things that want to just be directly sown in place. So I have boxes for a few months, April, May, June, that are going to be all direct sown stuff. But then I have the primary amount of my boxes are these, and they have like just the possible dates that these could be planted. See, this is 6 to 8 weeks from frost. So there's so it's just on there. So I organize, and it just makes it easy, because like if I look at what day it is, I'm like, oh, today is March 28th. This is the day that I want to be planting seeds. What do I have put in there? Because I've already gone on the backs of the seed packets and organized each of them into piles based on when they want to be planted, indoors or outdoors. So there's a couple direct seed things in here. And so I have things that are already started right now that needed a lot longer. So I'll show you guys kind of a mixture of what I have here. So these are all things that were like 10 to 12 weeks from your final frost date. So I wanted to get them in the ground now. We have the Ruia bell pepper, a nata peno, heatless jalapeno, habanada, heatless habanero, the lemon drop pepper, which is a hot one for hot sauces, the cubanelle, which is a sweet pepper, and then Lucky Tiger tomatoes. And so each tomato variety kind of will say on the back like when they want, 8 to 12 weeks before your last frost date. So that's how I have my seeds organized, based off of my zone's last frost date and what they say on here. So I just count back in a calendar and I make note of it. Oh, excuse me. I also have a notebook that has each of these, like a couple pages with each of the categories in it, like 6 weeks from frost, 8 weeks from frost, whatever, like what I'm going to plant there. So it's just like a list in that sense. So I can look back at it and just kind of know. But it's easy this way when you just go to that date and you open the box and you're like, this is what I'm planting today. So it kind of predetermines it. You spend that time. You know, I did this in February, and it's just a fun way to bring gardening into your winter routine, because you can think garden while you can't really be in the garden, but you can get yourself organized. But anyways, that's kind of wasn't really super short. I was trying to keep it kind of short, but that's basically how I have my seeds organized. And I have a ton more seeds that are not organized. These are just the ones that are, you know, in cute little packets from places that I've bought them. But this is a good way to keep, you know, all the varieties that you're like really, like you really want to plant these. Like I got them all organized so that I can just be intentional, and so I don't get confused and love like the romance of gardening and like, oh, I want to plant this and I want to plant this, and just grabbing a big packet of seeds and like shoving them in my in my overalls and we're gonna go plant these. I just want to be a little more intentional, because I have less space this time than I've had in the last 7 years to garden. I have to be much more intentional about how I do it and time things, so I don't have plants getting too leggy or just dying, you know, inside, or just, you know, kind of going in my unorganized haphazard ways sometimes isn't always good for me and for the plants, because plants can get neglected. I can get like to feeling like hard on myself or disappointed that something doesn't work out, or I didn't get it in the ground early enough. So I'm trying to really work on my organization and getting things kind of timed out a little bit more, instead of just, you know, rolling with the punches. So anyways, that's kind of how I plant my garden. So, or how I, example, how I plant my garden and how I organize my seeds. So there you go. I hope you guys have a great Sunday. I will see you out there.